This is like my 10th time trying to record this video, so hopefully this one goes well. For most of it, I'll be looking at the screen to look at my own face, or I'll be looking on my laptop for the notes that I've written for this video. I hope that's okay. And yeah, hi, my name is Nabila. I recently graduated from medical school, and since then I've moved from my home country, Malaysia, to the UK to start a full-time doctor job. Well, at least for the next 2 years, that is. I just thought that it'd be fun to share the 5 big lessons that I've learned from 5 years of medical school. They have really changed my life, and you're just starting like me, even if you're just curious, I hope something that I say here today will be able to resonate with you. Lesson number 1 is that the ability to plan is such an underrated ability. Like, you'll be surprised how many people are not able to plan properly. I do acknowledge that for some people it does come more naturally than others, while for the rest it does take time to build the skill. But all in all, I believe that the ability to plan is so essential in helping you identify where you're going instead of just drifting day to day. For the past week, I have been shadowing in the hospital before I officially start my job next week. So far, even like a week into it, I can already tell you that this job is dominated by your ability to plan your jobs for the day, like in the hospital, all the way to your annual leaves. You need to plan all of that in advance. Planning just helps us prioritize what really matters. I can say for certain that without a plan, it's easy for you to just waste time on distractions or constantly put things off. If you are a person who finds it difficult to plan, I recommend you just take a few moments from your day. Ideally, at the start of the day, sit down and write down the things that you need to do today. Be as detailed as you can. Instead of writing just revise something, be more specific. Include, like, let's say the slides that you need to review, the pages of the textbook that you want to look back on. That will help you so much more than just writing a simple do this without any specifics. Lesson number 2 is I owe it all to discipline. So what you've heard so far is true. Motivation is only temporary. On days where I could not care less about my degree, discipline is what pulls me through. I also think it's important to have a healthy relationship with discipline. I'm not sure what image pops up in your head when I say the word discipline, but I notice that most people have a negative connotation towards it. Honestly, for me, discipline is about being consistent, showing up for yourself regularly, and at the same time allowing yourself to adapt to changes in order to keep going. Discipline to me is like it's really rooted by purpose and not shame. You set clear boundaries for your time and energy without being overly obsessive about how you spend it. I'm not saying that you should not take any breaks at all. That is not what I'm trying to say. But rather adapt to your body. Let's say like you're tired, allow yourself to get that break so that you can keep going tomorrow. Lesson number 3, connection is our purpose. After speaking to countless people in hospital, I've come to realize that we all value a deep level of connection. Now, life is hard, and connection gives us the support system to face pain and loss and failure. And I am so grateful for the people in my life who have made me realize that connection is what's truly important. I found a quote on Instagram the other day that I will read out to you right now. Credit to the person who wrote this. Last night, I ate dinner with my friend in real life on a warm London evening, forking up aubergine from the same plate. We laughed, shared family news, told each other the things we'd been worrying over. At home alone in my study, they would feel insurmountable, a sign that something was irredeemably wrong with me. Under the gentle scrutiny of my friend, they diminished to a normal size, just the grit of everyday traffic with other humans. I walked home feeling more buoyant, nearly invincible. I need my friends, and I bet you need yours. That just resonated with me on a whole other level, because with the fact that like I just moved to the UK, I'm in this like part of the UK where it's just me. All my friends are in different areas, and it's so easy for us to feel like we are alone when in reality my friends are still there. You just gotta make that decision for yourself to choose to connect with them. Ask them how they're doing. Make sure that they're also doing okay, because these are not easy times that we live in right now, and everyone just needs somebody to talk to at the end of the day. On to lesson number 4. Reflect daily. Self-communication, I dare say, is one of the fastest way to grow as a person. You can do this in any shape or form. Personally, journaling has kept me accountable of how I feel, and I do notice that when I haven't been journaling for a while, I can almost see myself slipping and lose momentum. Throughout my clinical years of med school, I kept this thing called a placement journal, where I start off the journal entry by saying how I feel, what I learned in hospital, the important bits that I want to remember, and lastly, I always conclude by asking myself how I feel. Doing this has definitely allowed me to stay in tune with my emotions while going through something that is quite heavy, like going to hospitals every day can be really, really tough. By having an outlet to vent to yourself first is such a good way of making sure you can pinpoint exactly what's going on with you. Apart from my placement journal that I keep in Notion, I also keep a physical journal, and I carry this with me everywhere and use it to write down any thoughts that I have at any given point. It can be as dumb as like, I'm tired, but I think it's just important to constantly check with yourself to make sure that you are doing okay. So last but not least, have fun. Do not deny yourself the opportunity to have fun. In something like medicine, where it's always associated with being serious, high stakes, takes up so much of your time, your mind, your energy, your emotions, you got to have fun. Bear in mind that having fun is not a luxury medicine, but rather a necessity. Having fun is, honestly, for me, a form of resilience. It helps you reconnect with who you are. So those are the 5 biggest lessons I've learned from 5 years of medical school. This is my first video that I'm putting out there on YouTube. So we'll see how this goes. I'm starting doing this because I feel a bit lonely, and doing this just allows me to keep in touch with my creative side, and it's nice to create something that I can look back on this moment in time. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.